All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to uncork the secrets of Rheingau, a tiny, almost magical stretch of land along Germany's Rhine River. Why? Because it's widely considered the absolute cradle of world-class Riesling. We're going to explore what makes these wines so special, this incredible trinity of geography, the grape, and tradition. We're not just talking about a beverage here. We are truly exploring a living, breathing piece of history. This journey is going to take us to these steep, sun-drenched slopes right along the Rhine, a place that wine lovers revere as the true home of German Riesling. It's where the grape really finds its most elegant, its most expressive form. So, what is it that gives a great wine its soul? Well, so often it's this perfect harmony of three things. You've got a legendary place, a noble grape, and centuries of tradition. And Rheingau, it's the perfect case study for this. It's this trinity of factors that gives these wines their totally unmistakable character. So let's break each one down. To really understand Rheingau wine, you have to start with the history. And let me tell you, it goes back a long way. I mean, just look at this timeline. It's incredible. It all starts with the Romans planting the first vines. But then, it was the Benedictine monks who really spent centuries perfecting the craft. And then, bam, you get this pivotal moment in 1775 at Schloss Johannesburg. It's the accidental discovery of Spätlese, or late harvest, and it completely changed the game for sweet wine production. This deep, unbroken history is exactly why the entire region is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so history laid the foundation, but what about the geography? What is the magic that makes this little stretch of land so absolutely perfect for growing grapes? Well, it all comes down to what we can call the trinity of quality. It's this beautiful interplay between the landscape itself and, of course, human know-how. So let's break down exactly how these pieces all fit together. What you're looking at here is basically Mother Nature's perfect setup for a vineyard. The Rhine isn't just a river, think of it as a giant mirror, bouncing extra sunlight right onto the vines. And then, right behind them, the Taunus Mountains act like a massive shield, blocking all those cold winds from the north. What you get is this uniquely warm, protected microclimate, a perfect little pocket for growing world-class Riesling. Now for the final pieces of this geographical puzzle. The vineyards? They're planted on these incredibly steep, south-facing slopes just to catch every single ray of sun. But the real secret weapon, it's the dark, sleet soil. It acts like a natural radiator, soaking up heat all day and then releasing it back to the vines at night. This gives the grapes this long, slow, perfect ripening period, which builds amazing complexity and flavor. Every single element here is just working in perfect harmony. So we've covered the really unique geography of the region. Now let's turn to the second part of our trinity, the noble grape itself. Because in the Rheingau, Riesling isn't just another grape variety, it's the absolute soul of the region. This is where Riesling just finds its ultimate expression. You get this incredible range of aromas. We're talking zesty citrus, ripe peach, delicate floral notes. But the signature, the thing that just screams Rheingau, is its electric acidity. And that slate soil we talked about, it gives the wine this distinct minerality, what people often call a whetstone character. And what's truly mind-blowing is that these wines can age for decades, developing these wild, complex notes of honey and even petrol. It's amazing. Okay, so now you're ready to try one, but you look at a German wine label and, yeah, it can be confusing. So let's decode the most important terms you'll see so you can walk into a shop and pick the perfect bottle. These are the words that can trip people up. But don't worry, it's actually a very logical system. The key thing to remember is this. It's not about how sweet the final wine is. It's all about how ripe the grapes were when they were picked from the vine. Okay, let's walk through this ripeness ladder. Cabernet is the lightest style. Made from fully ripe grapes, it's going to be crisp, elegant. You take a step up to Spätlese, which means late harvest, and you're getting more intensity, more body. Then comes Auslese, or selected harvest, which is richer still, made from hand-selected, very ripe bunches. And at the very top, you have these rare, incredible dessert wines, Beerenauslese, BA, and Trockenbeerenauslese, TBA, made from individually selected, almost raisin-like berries. Now, this right here is the key takeaway. This is your cheat code. If you see the word trocken on the label, that means the wine is dry. Simple as that. So yeah, you can have a trocken Spätlese, which means it was made from those late harvested grapes, but it was fermented until all the sugar was gone. So the ripeness level tells you about the body and intensity, while trocken tells you about the sweetness. that's how you find the exact style you love. So, with all of this history, what does the future actually hold? Well, Rheingau isn't some museum piece. It's a living, breathing region that is actively facing some very modern challenges. Look, Rheingau faces some serious modern pressures. You've got climate change, which threatens to upset that delicate acidity of Riesling. Global competition is fierce, and farming those heroic steep slopes, it's incredibly expensive. But the region isn't just standing still. The response has been a big shift towards sustainable farming, embracing technology to adapt in the vineyard, and building on its legacy to become a top-tier destination for wine tourism. So ultimately, it's really all about balance. The future of Rheingau depends on expertly blending its priceless heritage with smart, forward-thinking strategies. It's about staying true to what makes the region so unique, while innovating to thrive in a world that's constantly changing. And that brings us to the central question for Rheingau, doesn't it? In a world that's just obsessed with the new, with innovation, this region is betting that its deepest roots, its unique land and centuries of wisdom aren't some relic of the past, but the very key to its future. Can tradition truly be the best guide for an innovative future? It's a question Rheingau is answering with every single bottle.